Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host of the UFC Forecast, and I'm missing the co-host Loaf tonight, but that's alright. I'm going to give you the final predictions and bets for UFC 289. So grab a drink, grab a beer, either or, maybe grab both if you like. We're going over the post-weigh-in face-off show here, starting with the prelims. If you're new, smash the suplex and subscribe button. I really appreciate that support. Jump in our Discord. I'm giving away $500 once we hit 500 subscribers. First off, we got Maria Oliveira and Diana Belbita. Both girls make weight here. I'm going to be siding with Maria Oliveira to win this fight here. I think it's going to go to the scorecards. Judges are going to have to pick the winner in this one. Not betting it, that's for sure. Anything can happen. It's women's. And both these women have some finishes. Oliveira has 7 knockouts and Diana Belbita has 6 of them. But I'm going with the more active fighter, Maria. She's Brazilian as well. I'm going to be picking a couple of Brazilians. I tend to pick Brazilians. So yeah, don't bet this fight. Be smart. There's lots more betting opportunities on this card. And next up, we got the Aussie debuting here. 9-1, Steve Erceg against David Dvorak. And I posted on my Instagram page and on Twitter, David Dvorak finish is my value prop this week. It's an extra value prop. And I posted that for a free bet. And I'll be talking about it at the end of the video. I think David Dvorak gets to finish here. Like, he's been in the UFC. He's fought 2 guys that were in the top 10, lost by a decision. Now he's fighting a guy that's fought some low-level competition. I think he can get the finish here in maybe the first round. He has a lot of first-round finishes looking at the record here. And he has an 81% takedown defense. It's going to be very tough for this debut fighter to get David Dvorak down. I think Dvorak will be live for that submission. But on the feet, Dvorak has hands. He has 8 knockouts and 8 submissions. Either way, he has 16 out of 20 finishes. He's going to get another finish here against the debut fighter. And I think it could be like last week with Jim Miller against the debut fighter. Jim Miller just went out there and slept him right away. But some people are going to have some flashbacks to Jamie Mullarkey. And yeah, a little bit of PTSD on that one. A lot of people like Erceg, I see in the comments below, but I really, really like David Dvorak this weekend for the finish, plus 200. Give it to me all day long. And next up, we got another fairly confident pick for me. I'm going Blake Bilder in this one against Kyle Nelson, the Canadian. Kyle Nelson's very solid. He's 1-4-1 in the UFC. He's due for a win, but I don't think he's going to get one against the newcomer Blake Bilder, who just won his first fight in the UFC with 7 takedown attempts. He's relentless with those takedowns, man. He's going to have a lot of control time in this fight, I think, if he gets Kyle Nelson down. He's going to be going for the submissions like Loaf predicted on the early prediction show, but I just think he gets this one done cleanly by a decision against our Canadian. You know, I hate going against the Canadians. That's why I'm not making Blake Bilder a lock pick, but I definitely see Blake Bilder being a high confidence pick for me this week against the Canadian. Blake Bilder's just going to set the pace of this fight. He has 100% takedown defense. And on the feet, Kyle Nelson, you know, he doesn't have that much to offer. He only lands 3 strikes a minute with a 44% accuracy. And Blake Bilder, like I said, he's super relentless on the feet as well. He has 6.5 strikes a minute landing with a 57% accuracy. And he has a better striking defense too at 58%. It's going to look like he's not getting hit as much as Kyle Nelson is. Judges are going to see him winning this fight all day long. And next up, we got Qileng Aori. He's rocking the wizard hat. I'm not sure how they pronounce his name, but I'm saying it's Qileng Aori. He has knockout power. He has 8 knockouts. But Aiemann Zahabi, my underdog of the week, he's very technical. He has a great striking defense, and he has knockout power as well. He slept Draco Rodriguez in the first round. And these boys are going to come out swanging and banging. But I'm siding with the more technical fighter with the better IQ, Aiemann Zahabi. He also has 7 finishes, and all 7 of those were in the very first round. So if Qileng Aori wants to swing and bang in that first round, he's going to have to pay the price against our Canadian, Aiemann Zahabi. And that's my first underdog of the week. I'm going with 2 this week, and my second one will be on the main card. And next up, we got a big underdog here, Canadian 350 Jasmine Jasudavicius against Miranda Maverick. Originally, I was on Miranda Maverick, but I switched my pick back to Jasmine, who I was on originally. Love's taking Jasmine as well. We're both thinking it's going to be a decision. It's going to be a close fight, though. Very close fight. And Miranda has a broad upper body. She's going to have some power behind those shots. She's going to be an accurate striker as well, but when it goes to the mat, Jasmine's going to shine there. She's going to rack up that control time on the mat against the fence. She's a national champion wrestler. And this is a very tough match for Miranda Maverick, who lost to Brogan Walker, Macy Barber, which was a close fight. She probably should have won that, but Jasmine Judavicius, 350. She's totally live. She's Canadian fighting at home, and she's pumped up, ready to go in this fight. The bookies are counting her out. I'm counting her in. Another Canadian's going to get it done. And finishing off the prelims, we got Loaf's first lock of the week, Chris Curtis. And I know a lot of people don't like that, against Nassourdine Imavov. A lot of people disagreeing with it, but I agree. I think Chris Curtis is going to get this done. Chris Curtis was training with Sean Strickland, who just beat Imavov, who gassed out against Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is the main training partner of Chris Curtis. They're in the gym every day together. Chris Curtis definitely has the blueprint to win this fight. I know Nassourdine's going to try to stay at distance, but I don't know if it's going to work. Chris Curtis is going to try to get in close, dirty box. He's crisp and clean, and I think he could get it done by KO. He has 17 KOs. He has 12 decisions as well. I think the judges are going to give him a break on this one if it goes there. Like I said, he has serious power. Nassourdine, he's going to have to stay at distance and avoid the big shots of Chris Curtis. He's going to be going for that knockout after coming off a loss, where he potentially got robbed by the judges in a close fight with Calvin Gastelum. But like I said, he definitely has the blueprint to win this fight, and I don't think he's going to throw it out the window. Now we're on to the main card, so make sure you smash the like button if you haven't yet. Suplex the subscribe button, because once we hit 500 subs, we're going to give away $500 in our Discord, which is absolutely free if you want to join that. I post the props of the week in there right away, and the locks and dogs in there right away. So you get early access in the Discord, and for $5 a month, you get exclusive and early access to all of our bets on Patreon. So join that if you want access to all of our bets. We also have our DraftKings lineups out there, the Platinum picks out there, which I'll pull up one from last week, and the forecast for Erceg is also out there. So there's a bunch of good features in the Patreon. It's only $5 a month, and this weekend alone is definitely going to make it worth that $5 a month. Let's get right into this main card. We got my lock of the week to go 4 in a row. Another Canadian, Marc-Andre Barriault, the power bar, against Eryk Anders. And he's also on home soil here. He's pumped up, ready to go. He's smiling at the face-offs. And I think he's going to get it done on the judges' scorecards, but he does have 10 KO wins, which is kind of sketching me out. Eryk Anders is going to come in here, try to make this a dogfight. But he's super tough, man. He has 5 decision losses, has only been finished twice. Once to Thiago Santos by KO, and the other was a submission loss to Andre Muniz. So I really see Marc-Andre Barriault taking this to the judges' scorecards, getting it done. The crowd's going to be cheering him on, and there's no way he's going to get robbed in this fight at home. And let's not forget Marc-Andre Barriault. He's going to have more volume too. He averages 6 strikes a minute. Eryk Anders only averages 3 strikes a minute. The power bar is going to have no trouble getting this one done at 172, which is great value for lock of the week to go 4 in a row. And next up, we got Lowe's Dog of the Week, Nate Landwehr, $3 now. He's jumped up on price against Dan Iggy. Originally, I was on Nate Landwehr. I agreed with Loaf, but I'm switching my pick. Loaf's underdogs have lost the last 2 weeks, but mine did as well. I think it's a smart move for me to move on the favorite side here, Dan Iggy. He was a former lock of the week for me, and he got it done by KO over Damon Jackson. His hands are heavy, and Nate Landwehr got knocked out to Herbert Burns and Julian Erosa. I don't think very highly of that. I think if Dan Iggy lands the shot, he's getting it done here. Very smart move for me, switching picks on this one. I don't think Nate Landwehr is going to be able to wear too much against Dan Iggy, who's been in there with some very good competition. Let's mention these guys: Mozart Evelev, Calvin Cater, Korean Zombie, Josh Emmett. He has 6 decision losses, so I can't see that submission for Nate Landwehr, who only has 2 submission wins. But he's won his last 3. 2 of those were submissions. And at the press conference, he mentioned he was going to get the submission. I really don't think he is. I think Dan Iggy's going to back up what he said at the press conference and get that KO. He was rocking the Vancouver Grizzlies jersey, which was dope as fuck. I definitely had to switch my pick to Dan Iggy in this one here. And next up, we got Lowe's second lock of the week, Mike Malott. 100% finish rate. All of them in the very first round, and he's fighting Adam Fugitt, who has 8 out of 9 wins by finish. He says he's going to bring Mike Malott to the 2nd or 3rd round and drown him and find the finish late, but I think Mike Malott is totally alive for that first round finish again. 10 finishes, 10 first round finishes. Like he said, he's going to get 10 finishes. It might not be in the first round, but he's definitely going to go for it. He's definitely going to go for it. Mike proper, Malott's always going for that finish, And he was my first prop of the week that I posted in Instagram for everybody. It's Los lock props, so stay tuned till the end. I'll give you all of our lock props, value props, and underdog props. But Mike Malott, he's also going to be my lock prop for the first round. I really think it's going to be in the first round. There's no way this goes to the third round. It could be early in the second, but the first round, it's going to be a tough 5 minutes for Adam Fugitt. And next up, we got the shoey bet. So on come the sunglasses for Charles Oliveira. That's who I'm going with, against Beneil Dariush. And Charles Oliveira is a 220 underdog now, so make him my second underdog of the week. I'm going 2 underdogs this week. Only 1 lock for me. We usually do 2 locks and 1 underdog, but I'm going to flip the switch here. I'm going 2 underdogs. Charles Oliveira is going to get this one done inside the distance. And Charles Oliveira has 21 submission wins and 9 knockouts. Beneil Dariush has been finished in all 4 of his losses. He has 3 knockout losses, one of those coming to Alex Hernandez, and his submission loss was to Michael Chiesa. So if Michael Chiesa can submit him, I guarantee the former champ Charles Du Bronx Oliveira will submit him or knock him out just like he did Michael Chandler. The last 10 opponents for Charles Oliveira is much more impressive than Beneil Dariush's. Beneil's only fought Matthias Gamrot, who's a 7th ranked fighter. Charles has fought guys like Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, and the champion Islam Makhachev. He has the experience now, and before he lost his belt to Makhachev there, he won 11 fights in a row. Beneil's only on an 8-fight win streak, something like that, so it's really not that impressive. He fought guys like Frank Camacho, Scott Holtzman. I don't hold much credit over those wins, to be honest with you guys. I really strongly believe I'm not going to have to do a shoey, and Charles Oliveira is going to get this finish against Beneil Dariush, who's getting a little bit too much credit and is the favorite right now. And when I seen Charles Oliveira at plus money, 220, I definitely had to make him my underdog of the week. And next up, we got the main event. Amanda Nunes defending her title against Irene Aldana. And I'm telling you right now, Lowe's kind of crazy going Irene Aldana. But he can pick whoever he wants. I'm being the smart one this week. I'm taking Amanda Nunes, who has 13 knockout wins. Likely going to be a little bit too much for Irene Aldana. I think Nunes can find that KO for sure. But if it goes to the scorecard, she's going to win this one dominantly, just like she did her last fight. She had 10 minutes control time against Juliana Pena, and there's no way she's losing that title again. Cheers, everybody. The Brazilians are going to be victorious in Canada. And before we get into the props of the week, let's go over the locks of the week and dogs of the week one more time. First up, I'll pull up Lowe's 2 locks of the week, Mike Malott and Chris Curtis. And then I'm going to pull up my lock, Marc-Andre Barriault, 172 to go 4 in a row on locks. And now for underdogs of the week, Nate Landwehr, 275 for Loaf. And I'm going with 2 underdogs now. First off, I had Aiemann Zahabi at 210. And now I got Charles Oliveira at 220. And now it's time for the props of the week. If you want Loaf's props, join the Discord. It's absolutely free. Since he's not here, I'm not going to bother giving them out, because the Patreon members pay $5 a month for exclusive and early access to all of our bets. So you got to pay $5 a month if you want exclusive and early access to see all of our bets. And like I said, Discord's absolutely free, so if you want to join that, you can see Loaf's props in there right now. And you could have seen them right away if you were already a member. So make sure you check the link in the description below. So first up, we got my lock prop of the week. I'm going Marc-Andre Barriault by a decision, plus 175. And my other lock prop's going to be Mike Malott in the very first round. He has all first round finishes, and it's plus 187. Still some good value behind that one. But the value props, I'm going Blake Bilder for the decision, plus 250. And my other value prop, David Dvorak by finish. I think this is going to be a pretty easy one. It's plus 200. And now we got the underdog props. First up, Aiemann Zahabi by a decision. He's going to be a much more technical striker, have great striking defense. He's going to get this one done, plus 200 by a decision. And the other underdog prop for me, Charles Oliveira inside the distance, plus 175. It's going to make me avoid doing a shoey this week against Loaf. Loaf's taking Beneil Dariush for the win. And we're doing a shoey on that one too, so stay tuned for the early prediction show. We'll have the shoey bet at the very start of the video. I really appreciate the support. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to smash the like button, suplex the subscribe button, and stay tuned for next week. Hope everybody smashes your bets in Canada. We're on home soil, so let's make some money this weekend. Cheers, everybody, and we'll see you next week.